Hello everyone, this is Creature and welcome to my Creatures of Scenaria video. Alright, so you've decided you want to mess around with Verza in Creatures of Scenaria. Bold choice. Verza is that creature you see once in a blue moon and go, What is that thing? It looks like a weird centaur that just walked out of a haunted forest wearing a glorious shampoo commercial mane. In a world full of dragons and dinosaur-looking monsters, Verza shows up like it accidentally spawned in from another game. But if you can vibe with the look, or at least ignore the fact that it stares into your soul, you'll find one of the strongest tier 4 flyers out there. I've played more flyers than I'm proud to admit, and Verza still stands out as one of my absolute favorites. It's just that good. The only reason you don't see armies of Verzas flying around is because it's exclusive and extremely pricey. Only recognized creators get it by default, so the rest of us peasants have to pay an arm, a leg, and the rest of our mush economy to buy one. Before we begin, please comment down below which creature you'd like me to cover next, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Okay, so here's the secret sauce. In Creatures of Scenaria, the rule of thumb is, bigger creatures equals slower creatures. This hits flyers especially hard. Most tier 3 flyers zoom around with around 40 speed, while tier 4s drag themselves through the sky at about 30. That's why meta flyers tend to be tier 3, they just outrun everything. Now Verza looks at that rule, laughs, and proceeds to break it. It sits at 37 speed, which is already nuts for a tier 4. But then you hit the adrenaline ability, and suddenly you're flying around like you've engaged your jet engines. Adrenaline boosts your speed by 25% and your damage by 20%, turning you into a monster that can literally chase down most tier 3s. Imagine flying as fast as an Aerius, but with way more health, weight, and raw punch. It's wild. And it's not just speed, Verza has Keen Observer, which lets you spot weakened or hidden creatures easily. It's got a big stamina pool too, so you can chase someone across the map, and once you land a couple hits, injury procs slow them down even more. At that point, they're not escaping, not even when your adrenaline buff runs out. Alright, let's talk weaknesses. Water. Water is Verza's worst nightmare. Creatures like Felicio, Galerind, or Malupiscius, yes, the same ones you're supposed to counter, will happily swan dive into the ocean the moment they start losing. And Verza? Yeah, it can't follow for long because its oxygen stat is trash. You'll dunk yourself if you try. It's also important to note that Verza doesn't apply any fancy status effects besides injury. No bleed, no poison, nothing to stop enemies from regenerating. Even if you slap a cat plushie on it, region monsters like Ghibli or Eratum will heal through your damage unless you're juiced up on adrenaline. And that's the catch. Once adrenaline runs out, you stop being a terrifying jet-powered beatstick and become a pretty average flyer with Keen Observer. You've got a big cooldown to wait out before the fun starts again. When you're setting up a Verza, the big question is, do you run Powerful Elder even though it makes you slower? And honestly, yeah, you totally should. It stacks multiplicatively with Adrenaline's damage boost, so the payoff is huge. You hit harder than a falling meteor, and that's what Verza is all about. For traits, you've got options, but I like going damage and speed. Weight isn't bad, it makes you tankier and hit harder, but speed plus adrenaline scales in a way that lets you catch those annoying fast flyers like Aerius. And trust me, landing that first hit is everything. Once you give them some injury stacks, they're basically doomed. For plushies, the cat plushie is the MVP. It stops enemies from regenerating and adds a bit of extra damage over time, which is perfect for finishing off someone who tries to limp away. For the second plushie, you can just pick your flavor. Ice Wolf for extra damage, Pig Lantern for stamina pressure, or Sky plushie for that tiny extra bit of speed. Verza doesn't have any huge weaknesses to cover, so you can get creative here. Playing Verza is all about timing and attitude. Wait for the right moment, pop adrenaline, and suddenly you're the scariest thing in the sky. As long as you stay away from water and time your engages well, you'll easily bully most meta flyers and chase down creatures that normally laugh at tier 4s. If you already like Verza's bizarre aesthetic, that's just a bonus. But even if you don't, give it a shot. You might end up loving this strange speed-boosting Sky Centaur as much as I do. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you found my video helpful, and subscribe for more Creatures of Scenaria guides. Until next time.